This is Cindy Paint the Heart, and I'm here to share, well, we're going to make some cards, but I'm also going to be sharing all the products that I got to go with my combo club of the month. And I forget what month this is. I want to say this is May. I think it's May. So first, if the what combo club is Tailored Expressions usually does some sort of a subscription club. You can choose either 3 months or 6 months. There's been a variety of different ones. We had I think it was a stamp and stencil. I don't know what else we had. Oh, we had a quad of the month. And so right now it is a 3D embossing folder and a stencil, the stencils that go with it. So if you did the 6 months, then you received this all planned out 3 as a free gift. And this is fabulous. I'm going to show this in action, I think in this video, but also in a second video. This is a 2-part video. It's been 2 videos using this particular combo club just because I just couldn't stop making stuff. So this is the kit itself for the month, and it is called Checkered Garden. It has that sort of, I don't know, like reminds me of like Holland and that kind of thing. So this is the kit, and then there are add-ons that you could purchase. And so there's the Checkered Garden foilet, and then there's the Checkered cutting plate. And then I could not find the packaging for this to save my life, but there were some floral dies. I don't think they necessarily cut out to the Checkered Garden. I didn't even check to see if they do. But you do get this die, and then this block talk. So I really like this one a lot. So this one right here, you just stamp it in the color of your choice, and then the die cuts out all of the sentiments. And so these are great. I really hope that Tailored Expressions comes out with some more block talk that go with this die. They do that, which I really enjoy. So some other things that I used for my card, the cards we're going to make today, and the cards I'm going to show you. So I think we're going to make 2 cards. I'm going to show 2 cards. I use this Mega Messages Thanks, and I absolutely love it. So it's a stamp with a shadow. And then I use, this is brand new. I got this from the Greeting Farm. It's called Strawberry Anya. And when they ran their sale that they do 3 or 4 times a year, if you spent $50, then you got a free stamp. And I believe this was the free stamp that we got. This is Strawberry Anya. And then I also use this stamp and die from My Favorite Things. This one is called Sending Squeezes. I use one little stamp from that. And then I also use this right here, which is June 2021 Club La La Land Crafts, which is Marcy on a Bike. And I also use that windmill die. And those are available in the La La Land Crafts shop, because I think they really sit into their regular line. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, I used the foilet on here, and then I went ahead and I did the stenciling, and I then ran it through the 3D embossing folder. And there's one card I just realized I didn't run it through. I think it's in the next video. I'm going to be bummed at myself, but it's okay. And you get all this wonderful texture. And then I did a purple piece that I just ran through the embossing folder as well. And then I just hit with a little bit of white splatter. And then these were left over from the Pink and Main foiling virtual event. Same with the sentiment right here. Okay, so for that, let's see, it's this one right here. So we'll make a little card so you can see all the little pieces that I did. So here is an A2 size card, and here is that panel that has been run through the 3D embossing folder. And then I just hit it with a little bit of purple watercolor splatter. And I think this one I hit it with a little bit of white because I had some white left over on my desk. So I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue to adhere this. And so my goal for summer projects is to use, well, first to use the new things that I need to put away. And then second is to try and use products that I got this past year that I didn't use. So I didn't use. We'll see how that goes. And then here is the piece. When you cut this piece off, I have this piece left. And basically I just cut it in half at 3 inches. And then I kind of trimmed it down a little bit because some of the side pieces are not so great looking. And I just used, ooh, I got my hair everywhere. I just used my coffee here too. A purple and a pink, a yellow, and a green. Put that down. And then I've got this piece, which was actually a leftover piece. It doesn't quite fit right here. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to snip a little bit, and I'm going to glue it like this, and then I'm going to glue that like that. And then I'm going to put my sentiment in between. Now my sentiment I actually found in my little leftover bin. So whenever I do any kind of event or I create and I either don't use the pieces or I have extra pieces, I put it in a little bin. And sometimes I will stamp and dye multiple things, and then I don't use everything. And so I put it in a little bin, and I try to go through that because sometimes I want to make a quick card and there's pieces in there that I could use. And so this Let's Party is one of those pieces that I had, and I'm using it because it's purple. So I'm trying to keep this down. So this is just some glitter cardstock. I think this might be the Stamp Market. Okay, so here is my Strawberry Anya, and I went ahead and colored her in purples, and I did the strawberries in pinks just so that it would be like the right kind of color for my card. And then this is going to go right here, and it's going to cover up that gap. And that way I can use that strip. There's that. And then I've got this Let's Party. So this is a stamp and die also from Tailored Expressions. And you can find this on their website. Okay, and so there's my card. Okay, so now for this one, I did it very similar to how I did the other Combo Club, which is the strip that I cut off I'm going to use on my second card. This one is just an A2 size card, and I just, I just did the same technique. I did my stenciling, and then I went and I ran it through the 3D embossing folder. I did use that combo little Flat Blocks stamp and die, and a little windmill, and that little bike. So just to make all the cards not look exactly the same, because that could be the problem when you are, using a stencil like this is, it's pretty enough that you could just stencil and then run it through the 3D embossing folder and then put a sentiment on it, and you're pretty much done, which is fine. But, I want my cards to look, get a chance to be creative and combine products that I have in my collection already, and to make my cards all look a little bit unique. I don't want them all to look the same. Okay, so I hit this one also with a little bit of, so I might trim this edge later, but for right now I'm not going to worry about it. A little bit of purple splatter, and there's just a kind of a distressed look to that. So here is that piece that was left over, and it's just going to go right here on the bottom. And so you'll see, you know, when I do these cards that I do kind of keep one kind of simple, and then I try to do one where I'm a little bit more creative. Okay, so this is going to go down here, and then I have this strip right here. So basically that piece that was on that card we just made, it was a leftover from this piece that I cut. And it's going to go right here. Hold it down for just a second. And my Barely Arts glue is my favorite thing now. I use it almost exclusively, I feel like. Okay, so then I have my Thanks Mega Die, and I just cut it out in white twice and then once in the color, and so that way I don't have to worry about putting now I want this little guy to fit kind of there, so I think I'm going to have it be down just a tad. And so there are lots of ideas. I think Pinterest has ideas on color combos, and if you belong to the Tailored Expressions fan site, sometimes people will post things that they're making with theirs, but it tends to just be like they don't really combine companies. You know, it's mostly just Tailored Expression stuff. But I like to show, or not to show because I like to do it myself, but use other products that I have, other companies. That way you can get more unique looks. Okay, so here is that Mama Elephant Squeezes stamp, and just a really easy one. And then put it right above there. And so there are my cards. And so let's look at the cards I made. It's this one right here. Oh, and then we've got this card. The Greeting Farm, Let's Party. And then this one right here. All right, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. It'll probably be available 2 days after this video, and then just available on my channel, and you can see the other cards that I made with completely different color palettes. Thanks for watching. This is Sandy Create the Heart.